What up, people? It's boy Massachusetts out here with another Pantheon review. So we've reached the season finale, season one's finale. The gods will not be slain. An apt title, I would say, to a season finale. And what I have to say is that this episode hit it out of the park. This was a 10/10 episode. I highly recommend that you watch it. And if you haven't watched the series, I recommend that you watch all 8 episodes of this season. And it sounds like, and hopefully, there will be a season 2. I do hope. But anyway, just to get into the crux of it, what we have here is that this meeting takes place after episode 7. And if you want to get caught up, watch my episode 6 review, which is really episode 7, as I say in the title, to get yourself informed. But anywho, we see the aftermath of, Laurie's, demise at Shonda's hands. Shonda has now pretty much more or less been causing chaos around the world, shooting nukes, crippling systems, well, not shooting nukes, but shooting ballistic missiles, crippling systems, causing hacks, having countries pretty much go against each other in his attempt to basically destroy the physical world and as well um, basically save the UIs that are in the cloud. It's interesting that before we had a woman who wanted to upload herself because, a health problem kept her out of serving in NASA. I have to say, I did kind of find her wish to be uploaded at the expense of her family, not seeing her children, and thinking that, virtual calls would be enough. Um, Kind of selfish. I did not like her, and her husband, acquiesced, which I felt that, he had the power. And I felt that her reasons for not wanting to remain in this world, but enjoy as a glorified program was selfish. But that's neither here nor there. So basically, Lori's husband is like, I'm going to go public, and, the world has to know. But Maddie, right here, at the most part, just feels like, oh, everything will be fine. We can chill. Nobody cares and whatnot. And she's playing chess with her dad. But Shonda comes in, busts in, and says, hey, I know you got Lori's message hidden away, and I can't let you upload that, so here's what I'm going to do. I need you to basically port yourself to my coordinates and self-delete yourself and that message, or I'm going to nuke Sacramento. And, they were both like, what the like, bro, what is going on? And, Shonda, I would say that he is almost like a Magneto-esque character, but no, he is a Magneto-esque character because Magneto was willing to go to various lengths, but at the same time, Magneto did create places like Asteroid M and Genosha to basically serve as safe havens away from the scourge of being hunted down. And so pretty much they decide that we're gonna have to take the fight to Shonda. So to cut it short, pretty much, they have a great fight sequence. I think this is where the animation really shines. We got to see some new forms of animation that have never been done in this show, which I think are pretty good. Really honing in and taking about that, hey, these are like computer programs in a video game, and they can do anything. So let's go all out, and they do. And so Shonda did recruit those 3 Chinese hackers who are now like avatars to basically say, hey, you're with me, and we're going to protect our peoples. So they team up with Shonda. Um, Michael comes, Maddie's dad comes in, basically says that, hey, I'm giving your life up for humanity, meaning that, hey man, I'm gonna mess you, I'm gonna take you down. So they fight, have a great fight, and you know, it's fantastic, pretty good. But because they're fighting, of course, Mike's server begins to heat up, of course, causing him to like freeze. But Maddie, cools it down. He manages to get back in the fight. He starts owning Shonda, And he manages to get in, mess with Shonda's coordinates because he had already instructed the the Indian submarines from the Indian Navy to shoot their nukes. That he was initially going to warp it around that it would hit Taiwan near China, but one nuke will definitely hit Sacramento. But in all of this, I'm forgetting about Caspian. Now, Caspian, meanwhile, through all of this, did contact Maddie saying that, hey, here's $30 million. Do what you can, because he wants to shut down the whole UI program, to which I kind of hope he still does. But anyway, Maddie blows him off. But when he gets to Logarithms HQ, you got all the peoples there, the psychiatrist and the head lawyer, Pope, his fake parents. And he's like, you people are sick. You guys want to control me. So, it's like, I'm the boss now. And he said, basically, here's what we're going to do. You two, my parents, you're fired. Don't want nothing to do with you for good reason. And what we're going to do is that I am going to liquidate the whole company and break them up into some smaller companies and then scrub everything clean. And, the lawyer's like, whoa, 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 well, you can't do that. And, Pope is like, yeah, he can. He's our boss. We work for him. So we now see that back to the fight. Unfortunately, my guy gets Michael gets overwhelmed by the Chinese UIs and Shonda. They're just knocking him down and everything like that. And it's just too much for him to handle. But what they don't know is that he managed to sneak in Lori's coded message. And the thing about that message is that it would use up all of the power, all of his power, basically. And he's he decides Maddie sees it and he's like, okay, yeah, you deserve to be known. And so he decides to upload the message. And Lori's message is uploaded to every single phone, everywhere. Every single piece of social media, every single smart TV, everywhere. Everybody's seeing this message confirming the existence of UIs. And of course, governments freak out and they begin pulling their servers and everything like that. And so, as the whole world is collapsing, Sean and those UIs try to escape. And it looks like they didn't make it, but I'm pretty sure they probably made it. So we will be seeing Shonda soon. Um, that first American woman thought that she was the first one, but obviously her government lied to her. And now she's like freaking out, saying that, yeah, you're at the acquiesce. You're pretty much U.S. government property. So she's kind of fucked. Excuse my language. So, Maddie's father gives his life, this life, for the sake of his daughter, his wife, and more or less the world. And Caspian looks at all this, and and he's like saying, "Hey, it's out there, nothing we can do." And Pope is like, "Oh no, we can." It's like, this isn't over. This is just the beginning. And Caspian's like, people aren't going to allow for that. It's like, all the governments that are basically going to keep all the US they created, going to keep them secret, and they may not create more in the short run, but they will have the ones that they have together. And of course, you still got some rogues out there. So we see that, you basically see that Caspian's like, okay. So more or less, we found out that Stephen Holstrom wanted to pretty much create one person to have all the power to control everything, like God, basically. And for people who really see themselves above that and not in the biblical sense, it's ironic that they still want to have God, just one that they can see and touch, without going to the faith. But, Caspian is like, okay, I know one person who I would trust. And he decides to call Maddie, ask about her father. I want to help the flaw. I want to help you out. But she pretty much says her father is dead before the network cuts off. So he pretty much tells Pope that, hey, he was the only person I know who I would have trusted to pretty much rule this UI, this cloud. And, Pope is like, okay, we have his backups. Let's work on that. And to which Caspian he begrudgingly does it. But I know that he's like, y'all messed up. And logarithms is messed up. They are quite the cult. There's no redeeming them, and they say that they want to save the planet, you know, carbon based and everything like that. It's we're killing the planet basically. But as they later admit, they're just people who are afraid to die, which you know, what can you do or say? But that's pretty much it. And the episode pretty much ends with now the whole world knows. And, you've got a majority of people who don't want who don't want this type of thing, who don't want people who are around. Because you'll definitely have more Shondas than Davids. But of course, you have few who want to be uploaded. So who knows what will happen. So that's the end of that episode. Um, there were really no flaws in this episode, in my opinion. I like to go over the goods. There's been great character development. Maddie, I felt had great character development. She finally learned, to like let her father go, to have his memory rest in peace, to understand that, we all can't be around here forever, and we all have to move on. So I'm very proud of Maddie. Maddie really came through. She was as much of a hero as her father. David was a true hero as well. I really enjoyed him. He's been pretty much the tech wizard, but in this episode, he really shined in the finale. Um, it was good to see Laurie's message pretty much go through again. Good to see her. Shonda was a very good villain in this. The road to hell is paved with good intentions, as they say. And, he basically caused this world's end. While we can blame Logarithm for dealing with unethical practices, it was Shonda who leaked their technology to militaries in an attempt to not feel lonely, which is horrifically petty. And, we see the actions of that. But he was a very good villain. And I doubt we have seen the last of him. All in all, I feel like Pope and Caspian were very good. I felt that Caspian really got his shine pretty much in the meat of these 8 episodes. So all the good I've said about him, I can't say any more good because he's pretty much a great character as well. The animation really top notched as well. That's another good. We really see them going in and all out. And I want to say I really liked the plot and the questions that need to be answered. I don't believe in UI. I don't believe people should be uploaded. I do think that such technology is dangerous. I do feel that basically people will misuse it. We are human beings and we've always tended to misuse power despite the good intentions behind them. So this show really makes you think. It's great. It's excellent. And I would highly recommend it. So thank y'all for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe, and hit the notifications to make sure you're notified. Please comment below and tell me what you thought of Season 1, hopefully, for an upcoming Season 2 of Pantheon. I feel like this is the underrated show of 2022. The Dark Horse. The best show. Top 5, I would say, of this year. And I would recommend people hit on it. So, thank y'all for watching. And I will have more videos up very soon. Peace.